Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to Outdoors with Luke Clayton and Jeff Rice. Buddy, how you doing this morning?
Couldn't be better, man. Down here in the woods in this setting, my gosh, I mean, if it gets any better than this, I wish all of our listeners could be out here with us, buddy.
Oh, absolutely. It's an absolute beautiful morning here. We are at the Buck and Bass Ranch, and we're gearing up for another adventure today. We're going to be doing a little cooking. We're going to do, I think you're going to, what are you going to do, squirrel something with a squirrel that you shot earlier
tune
this year?
in. We're going to, a lot of people don't eat squirrel anymore. They think of squirrel as a rat or something, but I grew up northeast Texas. A squirrel was a big deal. I mean, I know how to cook squirrel.
Oh, I ate squirrel when I was a kid too. Are you kidding me?
So,
oh yeah.
And really, a squirrel is hunting squirrels. If you can sneak up on a squirrel, you can sneak up on just about anything.
They're crafty little critters.
They're a great training animal. And a lot of youngsters now go from not hunting at all to big game hunting, to deer and hogs, which is great, but squirrels are a pretty good teacher.
Yes, they are. You start out, it's a small target, but it's good to eat.
They are.
I've hunted squirrels. I grew up in north central Wisconsin, and there were squirrels everywhere up there. And I mean, I would grab just a little stool and go sit it in the woods somewhere. And with my little 22, and I'd come out with squirrels. And I cooked every one. I loved it. That's good meat.
My mother she made a smothered squirrel where you would fry it, and that's probably what I may be thinking about doing. I hadn't really decided exactly what we're going to cook, how we're going to cook it, but she would fry the squirrel, make a cream gravy, and put it in the oven in an old cast iron skillet with a lid on it. Oh my gosh, you're talking about some rice and biscuits. Pretty good eating. Well, folks, we have one for the pot back in this brush. I shot him right there on the edge. This little eagle claw, I say little, it's a powerful gun. It drilled him. I actually hit him right over here on the side of this little clearing, and he's right in there. But that's going to be one for the pot. We're going to put him maybe some fried squirrel or possibly some squirrel dumplings. But that's one of many that we're going to go after. We've got, these squirrels are moving right now. So let me go get this one.
Okay.
And bring him in.
Nice shot.
Thank you, but man, this thing hammered him, didn't it?
Yeah, let's go get him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a
nice
dandy.
Fat gray squirrel, a young one. This will be one that will be good in the frying pan right here. The eagle claw. I've got a new squirrel rifle here, folks. This is a young squirrel too. This thing will be super good fried in a cast iron skillet. So I say that we've still got, I've shot this thing twice, once in practice and once on it. We've got almost a full charge. So let's head back in here and see what we can find.
Absolutely. Well done. All right.
Pretty squirrel rifle right here too. I love this little eagle claw. Yeah, that's a young one. You can tell by the size of him,
Yep. Let's go get a couple more of those bad boys, huh?
Yeah, we're going to need about, let's see, probably 5 of these to create a good meal for us.
Well, we've seen plenty, so.
Oh yeah. And folks, really, if you look at especially this is a gray squirrel. We call them cat squirrels here in East Texas. They're not. Look at the head on that thing. They're small animals, so precise bullet placement, especially with any rifle. But as quiet as this thing is, opposed to nothing wrong with a center fire or a rimfire 22, is what I'm talking about. But folks, look at the size, how small these gray squirrels are. I mean, precise bullet placement. I used to hunt these with a shotgun when I was a kid, So you've got to have a gun that's a tack driver. And this Eagle Claw, Seneca Eagle Claw by Air Ventura. Get you one, folks. You're going to like it. It's quiet. You get a bunch of squirrels with it.
Well, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and let's go and let's watch Luke put some little magic in. What are you going to make, a squirrel stew or something, do you think?
I'm going to wait and surprise everybody.
You're going to surprise everybody?
Yeah,
okay.
Just hang on, folks. We're going to cook some squirrel.
Squirrel's coming.
Hi folks, it's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and welcome to our little cooking segment of the show today. You know, squirrels and small game in general, through the years there's been a real diminished interest in cooking and actually in hunting squirrels. I mean, when I was a kid growing up in northeast Texas, squirrels, there was way more squirrel hunting going on than there were deer. I remember some old guys when I was a kid, folks, that would set up a camp out in the woods up north of Clarksville, up in Red River County, a squirrel camp. They'd camp out 3 or 4 days, set up wall tents, cook squirrels, have squirrel hunting contests. It was a big deal back in the day. But through the years, big game, deer hunting in particular, has kind of took the place of squirrel hunting. And you know, a lot of youngsters skip the small game hunting, which is not really good. I mean, squirrel hunting can teach you a lot about hunting in general, you know. So I love to squirrel hunt, and I usually freeze up a bunch of squirrels. So what I thought we'd do today in our little cooking segment, I've got, you can't see it all, but I've got our cast iron skillet and the lid and all that kind of stuff. We're going to make some smothered squirrel. I'm not going to cook up a big bunch because honestly I'm here at the old, see my camp back here, I'm up here by myself, and I don't really need a lot of food. But I am going to cook one squirrel. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's really simple, but I'll get the camera up close and kind of hone in on the skillet, what we're doing. But the end result is, like a lot of stuff I cook, is a one skillet meal, folks. Going to have gravy, squirrel, and rice. If you've never had squirrel, if you've never eaten squirrel, do not rule it out. I mean, it was a staple back when I was a kid growing up, and I've always loved it. But my family, like everybody else, just through the years, we had so much venison and things like that to eat, other game, big game, that we quit eating squirrel a lot. We're going to cook some squirrel, so stay with me. I'm going to get the camera up close, put the old cast iron skillet down here with a lid. That's one staple that I never leave home without when I'm at camp. We're going to make some smothered squirrel, so stick with me. So folks, we'll just have a little squirrel tutorial, how to cook squirrel. You can see right here in my old trusty cast iron skillet, I have the squirrel just about browned to perfection. Now that's the first thing we want to do. Now, granted, if we were at camp with a lot of people, I would have had several squirrels, but I'm just cooking enough for me right now. The end result will be gravy and rice with this squirrel, and it's going to be really, really tasty. But what we're going to do next, I'm going to drain some of the grease out of here, add a little bit of chopped onion, leave a little grease in, of course, and a little chopped onion, and add a can of, or probably half a can of cream of mushroom soup. Now you can make cream gravy, but at camp all the time people don't have milk to make cream gravy. Now one thing that while I'm on this subject, this happened to be a young fox squirrel. It would have been good fried. I didn't have to pressure cook it or anything. But if you if you have a bunch of older squirrels, say mature squirrels, put them in a pot and cook them, or a pressure cooker if you got a little pressure cooking pot, or just a regular pot with a lid. Cook them about 45 minutes and tenderize them, and then dust them with flour and fry them. They'll turn out just as tender as any. But this is just a little test batch with one squirrel to show you how to do it. So let me get the cream gravy ready and the onion, and then we'll be right back. We'll just follow through and let you see that part of it. Okay folks, there is our cream gravy, and I just simply opened a can. Let me show you what I've got here. Ha, it's upside down. But just a can of cream of mushroom gravy. Get it at Walmart or anywhere. It's good stuff. But that saves us making cream gravy out here at camp, which can be a pretty difficult task. Not hard to do, but you have to keep the milk cold till you make the gravy, etc. Let's look at these pieces though. Actually what we have, you know, is the quartered up squirrel, the front legs and the back legs, you see, and then the back. And this is only one squirrel, folks. So if I was feeding a camp, you know, usually I'll cook 4 or 5 squirrels, and plenty of black pepper. You'll see if you look really close, you'll see the black pepper in that. That's a must. So what I'm going to do now, and we'll just do that while you're watching here, I'm going to add the rice and the water and stir it all up, bring it up to temperature, let it cook. Let that rice, it needs to cook about 25 minutes. So we're going to add that and stir it in right now. So let's do that. Okay, just I've kind of pre-measured this rice. This is about the amount of rice I want to put in there. Don't want to have too much rice, but we do need enough to rice, gravy, and squirrel. That's just a staple. That's about the right amount of rice. Now, you know, when you add rice, you have to add about the same amount of water. So let's put some water in here with this. Stir it all up really well. There we go. Now then, what we'll do, we'll put the lid on this, and we're going to let it cook real low for about 25 minutes. And bingo, there's going to be dinner for us right there. So I'll show you a picture of the finished product. Maybe even put it on a plate and show you what it looks like. Well, folks, our squirrel and gravy has simmered about 30 minutes. We added the rice and let it cook. Let's pop the top on this thing and see what it looks like. I don't know how many of you have had smothered squirrel, but this should be really, really, really tender. So let's take a look. Oh yes. Yeah, I can look at this. Now that's obviously fall off the bone tender, folks. That's the squirrel. That would be the drumstick of the squirrel. And all of you that are, you know, a little bit hesitant about eating squirrel, let me guarantee you that this is awesome. See how this just flakes off the... Look at that. That is some of the most tasty meat that you can imagine. We have everything all mixed together. And this is about enough for me. I bet I can't eat half of that. But usually, like I say, when I'm cooking squirrel, I'll have it up halfway with gravy and 4 or 5 squirrels in there. But it's just me here at camp today, so I think what I'll do is get a plate and maybe a bowl and just pile that up with squirrel, rice, and gravy and get after it. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little segment on our cooking. We do try to bring something different to you every week, and probably this is the first time you've seen a squirrel cooking show on YouTube or on our videos, but hope you enjoyed it. Let's get back to the rest of our show.
Folks, that wraps us up for today. I hope you've enjoyed our show. It's been a pretty varied show. We've covered a lot of ground, Jeff and I, and you being with us. Hope you enjoyed it. I do want to always remind folks about the radio show. Jeff actually manages the radio website. It's catfishradio.org, and you can go there and read a bunch of my newspaper columns. Larry Weissoon, you know, is there every week. Campfire Talk with me. Yep. And I listen to Larry and I. It's, as I kid people, if they think they're going to need some formal Paul Harvey, you don't want to listen to my show. It's very informal, about like our deal, but people relate to that, I think. So remember catfishradio.org, folks.
Right, you can go out there and upcoming events, you know, different things like the Ben Wheeler, you know, Wild Hog Festival. Wild Hog Festival. We'll put
that
like
is coming up.
That's coming up. So stuff like that, you know, things that we go to and do, we're going to put out there on catfishradio.org. So if you see it on there, we'll likely be there. Like the Wild Hog Fest, we're going to be there, and we're going to have some fun. You have to come out and see us out there.
That's at Ben Wheeler, and it's going. The exact dates. Well, we'll put it on the website. Yeah, we will. But you can Google Ben Wheeler Wild Hog Festival and get the dates. I'm not real sure. It's in October, I know. But we'll have a booth there, and you know, it's just fun. It's a cooking contest. Anybody wants to do that, but for more information, you can always contact me or Jeff through catfishradio.org. Correct. There's a little deal. Email Luke. Well, if you email me, you email Jeff. We'll get with
We'll get back with you.
Oh yeah,
without a question.
So you might have something you want to share with us, and feel free to do that. folks.
Well, once again, folks, thank you so much for watching our show, liking and sharing what we've got going on here. We appreciate it. We love putting this stuff together, and that wraps us up for another show. So, Mr. Clayton?
Where's he?
Right over there is some cane poles.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe we have some cut bait.
Yes.
I think we're going to let our viewers go have their next cup of coffee, and you and I are going to go catch a catfish.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Until next week, folks, thanks again for watching.